past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash when the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window?
Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. Watch QB draw. 5.
First carry for Darius Geis. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
Set, ready. 18 Gator. 54. Check, 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 check. Now.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The 2nd down pass.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Here comes the Saints punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. Taken from just outside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Throwing now is Locke. Well, he's going to take a shot right away, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Locke on the bootleg. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards.
1st down, Atlanta.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Hey, Sam off.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On play action, they'll throw. Blitz coming. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Geis. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Alert 3. Check, look at me. Go. Kill. Go.
He'll look to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 33-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10.
Roll out. Hurry up. Ready.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
General West. 10.
On 2nd down now. It's Freeman, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes
rush coming, and he's taken down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Protein spill.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Now you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's Geis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Falcons' 27-yard line.
Ready, 18, Gator. Hey, Alpha. Check. Pilot, 64, weak.
58 to Mike. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
5.
2nd and 11. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14, Saints nothing.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. To throw it is Locke. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something.
Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points.
Ready. 10 Lobo.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Lock now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now a run with Geis. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And just like that, it's third down.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh.
Mike, 54. He runs. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
80 weapon. Shoot.
They'll drop the throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. So 2nd and goal there from the 1. They go to the air.
And the perfect down to throw the football in this sequence. 2nd down is always kind of that. Do they throw it? Do they run it? They worked it out to perfection on that one by throwing it into the end zone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. On the ground, it's Geis. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Saints on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They're going to look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the turnover, here's Locke. He's going to take a shot right away from, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Saints take over 1st and 10.
On the ready.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, This too shall pass. This too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Saints on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Danielle Hunter in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Ready, break.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From midfield, here's Locke. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Jonathan Jones there to make the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Let's go, defense. Hey, Haywood. Now.
On second down, it's Mack. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
Set Lobo. Hey, Echo.
Right there. 54, right there. Right
Get it.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Justin Watson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints get a bit closer. Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 19-point game. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Greystone, travel. Ready?
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one.
Go now. 94. Recon, 132 fighter.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Ready, set.
Check, 59, 59. Hey, here I come.
Topper. Hit.
Now Locke.
Check, 26.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Hey, Delta.
Here's Locke. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Picked off by Amani Hooker. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Get ready.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. Here comes the Saints punter now. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
He was brought down
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Throwing his lock on third down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Hey, orbit. Ready.
On first down, Locke taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Amani Hooker. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
You're not ready. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Kill.
They'll run with Geis, and they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check. Fresno. Fresh 6-6. Pull it high.
Looking to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes.
Ready.
Hey, let's get in that hole.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
General West.
2nd and 9 now. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Ready, ready.
58, Mike. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
Get it.
2nd and 13. Got a man open. That's Harry. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now back to throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there, good for his Saints, 1st down. Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
He'll look to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
Watch safety creep, watch safety creep. Safety creep.
This is Geis. Running right through it. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back. Here, this will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
2nd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up. Check, 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 check.
Keep it.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Back now here live in New Orleans as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. Back now here live in New Orleans as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And now you get under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Looking here for Smith. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off around the 37. And this one will be brought back to the 22. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it, try and create some space, some room, and it went awry, didn't it?
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. 11 yards there, 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll come out in the pistol. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. That's complete right around the 8. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Locke to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Trying to lay one up deep. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A 6-yard pickup.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Lock to throw on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Block now to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Yeah, he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Silver. Watch out.
Here's Geis. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
The tackle made by Stephon Gilmore.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Bravo.
Third down, here's Geis. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll look to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Back to the ground game now with Geis. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for the Falcons, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.